Now on BBC One, David Whiteley is in Lowestoft in Suffolk for the first in a new series of Inside Out.
Welcome back. Tonight we're going under the sea.
It's life, but not as we knew it. As the North Sea warms up, we find out what's moving in.
We've got a rare chance to be on board the Endeavour, the Starship Enterprise of sea science.
Making a time capsule, the last resort for the grandma who fears she may never see her grandchildren again.
Are your eyes dark brown like mine? Don't suppose I'll ever know.
Inside the Cambridge Beauty Room, makeovers for men, manicures and facials for doormen and mechanics.
3 surprising stories from where you live. We've now come to Lowestoft Beach. Most of us like to look good, but people normally associate beauty treatment with women. But there's now a trend for men to cast off gender stereotypes and burst into beauty salons. Steve Bumfrey went to Cambridge to meet the men's men, who aren't afraid to be pampered.
Messing around with cars can be messy work. Looking good is not top priority. Frankly, it's not a job for somebody who doesn't like getting his hands dirty. What are you talking about? That image is so yesterday. Today's mechanic is likely to take far more time and trouble over his appearance, and he's not bothered who knows about it. Take, for example, the owner of this garage in Brandon in Suffolk.
I'm Stephen Martin, I'm 39 years old. I like to go tanning, have a massage and a facial, and I've had some work done on my face.
Steve has had a treatment similar to Botox, where the lines in a person's face are smoothed out.
I spend all day working on cars, making them look and appeal better. So I thought if women could have it done, why couldn't I have it done? And it does look good.
Now, before we go any further, I thought I'd clear up a big misconception about men and makeovers. Stephen Martin is, how shall I put it, a man's man. There's nothing remotely soft about him.
At first I didn't tell anybody because I didn't think I looked like a man, but after they saw the results, then I wasn't afraid to tell people.
This is Lou Somerow. She's a former nurse who works at 6 beauty clinics around Cambridgeshire. She specialises in face-enhancing treatments. Surprisingly, many of her clients are men.
It's, feeling good about yourself. Feeling good, you're looking good. And men are taking much more care of themselves. And it's all about confidence and boosting self-esteem and how you look.
This is the second course of treatment that Steve has had on his face. He hopes the process will keep his facial lines permanently at bay.
Go along this line, and to help with discomfort, because there is an element of discomfort, I want you to breathe in. And when I say breathe out, I want you to breathe out. Okay? So breathe in, breathe out. Well done.
So what are you injecting here, Lou?
I'm using Restylane Perlane, which is a soft natural product which is made of hyaluronic acid, which mimics what is already in our bodies, in our cells.
And what does it actually do?
Well, it's filling these lines here from the nose to the mouth, and it's giving them volume and softness.
And how many injections do you have to give?
Well, I don't really count, but probably about 10. But I don't normally count. I just see how it goes and how it's filled.
And Stephen, how does it feel?
It's just a little bit of a sting. It's not really painful at all.
Most of my male clients are over 40 and sort of feel a bit anxious about the needles and is it going to hurt. So there's quite a lot of sort of preliminary chats over the phone before appointments or coming in to see me and reassurance. But I'm seeing more men coming through the salon doors to see me than I did when I first started.
A course of treatment costs between £200 and £300, and the results will last for up to 6 months.
There you go. Let me show you what you look like. Now have a look in the mirror. How do you feel? Lovely.
Yeah, it looks really good, yeah. It's really filled it up, hasn't it?
Looks lovely.
Yeah.
Very lovely.
Thanks.
It'll be no surprise to learn that the women's beauty industry is big business. It turns over a whopping £100 billion a year. The men's market may be smaller, but it's catching up fast. Sales of men's skincare products have increased by 900% in the past 5 years.
Just look at this lot. You can now get facial scrubs, wrinkle and eye cream, moisturisers, balms, exfoliators, and not forgetting all manner of cleansers. The bottom line is that looking after yourself is no longer considered girly or off limits.
Men have always been very concerned about the way they appear, but they may have expressed that concern in different ways. And what we consider acceptable in terms of gender roles is often changing, constantly changing. In the 18th century, men wore very elaborate wigs, powdered their faces, elaborate clothes. There's nothing new about men and vanity.
I'm Michael Redden, I'm 50 years old. I'm a consultant running my own business. I decided to change my image 3 years ago when my marriage broke down. I was a typical chauffeur. I ate burger and chips, and I sat around in a car all day long just waiting. I put on lots of weight just doing that, having that lifestyle.
Michael now admits he had let himself go and turned into a bit of a slob. It was time for a radical change.
The new Michael lost weight and keeps fit by going to the gym and swimming, but he wanted to go one stage further, and as well as using sunbeds, he now once a month treats himself to a facial.
I like to get plenty of cream on my face because the stomach gets dried up, and especially on a sunbed as well.
Michael spends between £30 and £40 for a facial like this one at a clinic in Cambridge.
We've got very good skin. It's in very good condition.
Thank you.
You don't think it's a little bit girly?
No, I don't think it's girly at all. I actually feel that if I look good, I feel confident, and it just makes me feel good during the day. I'm totally confident with myself. I don't mind facials, I don't mind the things that I do, but I am very, very confident with the way I appear these days.
Now, if you think a man having a facial is a bit unusual, well, keep watching, because you haven't seen anything yet.
The Americans have coined a phrase for men who use beauty products. No, it's metrosexual. Basically, it describes men who are sensitive about the way they look. They want to be fashionable, but most of all, they want to look masculine. A bit like our friend here.
My name's Stephen Alexander-Jones. I'm 37 years old. I've played semi-pro rugby, and now I'm an occasional doorman. I have no problem using beauty products. I dye my hair, I use toner, I use fake tan, I use facial scrub. As far as I'm concerned, anything that makes me look better, why not? I think that if someone actually cares about their appearance, it makes them look more professional when they're doing their job, and it actually gives an impression that someone is actually more controlling of what they're doing.
Stephen has decided to get his nails done today. Unusually, the person carrying out the manicure is also a man. Chris Brown used to work for the Cambridge University Press. Today, he runs his own nail and tanning salon.
I think it's quite daunting for a guy to sort of come into what is predominantly a woman's environment, and often they'll put their head around the corner and to sort of see if it's safe, and I'll sort of welcome them in and obviously sort of talk to them about classic cars and motorbikes or something like that to make them feel a little bit more at home.
Do you get a lot of flack from friends and colleagues about this?
Not really. I'm quite a big lad, and the way I see it is that if I'm prepared to look after myself, girls appreciate it more than some guy who isn't prepared to look after himself.
Does it work with the girls then?
Oh, I like to think so. If you look after your nails, then it means you probably look after other parts of your body as well, and I'm sure that's something they appreciate.
So is all of this just a fad? The beauty industry thinks not. It's spending a fortune on convincing us lads to smarten up our acts. And it's even using sports celebrities like David Beckham to help spread the word. So, the writing's on the wall for the old dinosaur. Now, have I got time for a quick nail job?
Steve now has the most fantastic nails. Well, that's Inside Out for this week, but right now on your BBC local radio station, we're talking about grandparents. Do we value them enough? Our guest tonight is Pam Wilson, who campaigns for grandparents. She'll be there to give you advice, or you can just tell her your stories. The number to call is 0845 3050 007. Next week, Inside Out brings you 3 more surprising stories from where you live.
Fat suckers. Lose weight by sticking paper bags on your feet? Incredible claims. We investigate. fashion victims, mobile phones, we throw away 15 million a year. We ask why. And believe it or not, spellcasting in Suffolk. It's the latest buzz in business.
EastEnders is next year on 1, and I'll see you next week.